Hello from Omaha. I'm seeing how well this system works in comparison to the other one that I was using, and it's quite possible this will be the one that I use to podcast from now on. Today's topic, or the subject that I've been looking at, is immersion management. And I don't know if I made up that term or not, or if it's an actual term. I haven't Googled it. But the bottom line is I think that if you want to call yourself a manager in an organization, you really need to be willing to do just about anything that a frontline worker does. And if you're not in that, the people that are above you should seriously start questioning your value to the organization. I've learned this through a few different organizations that I've worked for, but the bottom line is if you want to call yourself a district manager, you ought to be willing to do the same thing that the general manager under you is willing to do. And if you need to fill in for a general manager, you do that without questions, especially if there's an illness or a medical problem in your general managers under you. Now, anything below this, and we start talking about Ponzi schemes and a bunch of other stuff. And the thing is, hand over fist money is hand over fist money, and if you want to make money off of me, you better be willing to work. And at the end of the day, this is why I've recently left some employers behind, is because I came to the conclusion that the value system was messed up. If I'm going to be a general manager, let's say Hoo-Hot, for an example. I haven't ever worked there. I don't know anything about their management structure, which makes them perfect to pick on. The bottom line is if I want to be a general manager for Hoo-Hot, I should be willing to work on the grill, and I should know how to work the grill. I should know how to bust tables. I should be willing to bust tables. I should know how to clean the bathroom. I should be willing to clean the bathroom. I should know how to open and close the store. I should know how to pour liquor at the bar. I should be willing to work in any of those positions. Now, as the general manager, I also cover shifts that aren't covered by people that can't show up or don't show up. And in the case that there's an illness or problem with me, then the person that's overseeing the other 15 Hoo-Hots should step into my place until I'm feeling better. That's how it should work. And if it doesn't work that way, there's something broken in your structure. I'm not saying a life sentence for a district manager, but the thing about it is it's not like every one of your store managers is going to be chronically ill for a long period of time. But in the case that one of them gets sick, and we're looking at a stretch of 6 months, then that's the store you work at until your general manager is feeling better. I don't understand the concept of just stepping away and saying, oh, well, that's not my responsibility and I don't care. And I've seen this happen at other organizations, and I'm not going to currently mention them because I think it's pretty clear who I'm talking about. But even said, okay, so your general manager steps in and he's hung up on something, right? And then let's say another store manager in your district gets sick. Well, either you have another district manager from another district come and step in, or you have somebody that's even above the district manager step in and help hire people to fill the positions that currently need to be filled. And even if that's all the district manager does is hire people to fill holes, that's fine too, as long as the job is getting done and it gets done quickly. It is not the job of the assistant manager under the general manager to start filling in all of those gaps. And if it starts coming that way, then the assistant manager isn't being paid enough. So these are all ideas that I've had. I'm just putting out there that the new world that we're coming into is going to be much more dependent on immersion management, and that means you are hands-on and you are working, and in the case that somebody has a problem, you are there to fix it. And in the case that, here's the thing. We're coming into a world that is Amazon-driven, it's warehouse-driven. People are able to order their things online. Some of this stuff can get fulfilled by machines. If you aren't taking your job seriously, and you're not willing to work and physically put yourself out there, provided that you can, then maybe you aren't in the correct profession anymore. And maybe you're just a bumwad and a loser. I mean, these are all things that we should take into account. And I hate to make this big rant, but the thing about it is, even if if I own a corporation and people in my downline are in a hard way, even the president of the company should be willing to step in and swing the bat once in a while. And if that's not happening, there's something broken with me and there's something wrong with my organization. And as long as that's the case, you'll hear from me as to how frustrated I am with the way the thing's working. Okay? So, bottom line is yes, there is a place for good old American capitalism, but there is also a place for, hey, these people are on your side and they're your teammates, and if they're falling, then you better step in and help. So that's the end of my rant for the day. I could get into this topic for in a much longer rant and a much longer discussion, but I think it's a good start, and I've got some good talking points. So that is what it is. Have a wonderful day. It's the 12th of December, 2020. In the times of COVID, here we are. I'm not wearing a mask, but I'm in my own house. Have a wonderful day. Take care.